how it's up to us to continue Charlie's legacy. It's time for us every day in how we engage with others to choose to live aloha, love, respect. You know, from my home state of Hawaii, the reason why we greet each other with the word aloha is because of its deeply spiritual meaning. It doesn't actually mean hello or goodbye. We greet each other with aloha because what we are really saying when we say aloha is, I see you as a child of God, and I respect you as such. It is to recognize that God is all-powerful and God's love is all-powerful. Love is not weak. Respect for others is not weak. There is nothing more powerful than love. Living aloha, living that love and respect. It doesn't mean being a pacifist or rolling over when our ideas are challenged or when our freedoms are under attack. Actually, it's the exact opposite. It means standing up, fueled by love, to defeat hate, to defeat that evil and that darkness, and to speak the truth and defend our fundamental freedoms that are granted to us by God. Charlie lived this. Charlie embodied this, and Charlie changed hearts and minds of countless people around the world because he made a conscious choice every day to choose love. I had a friend of mine who sent me a text the day after Charlie was killed, really distraught. And she said, "What do we do now? I know the answer should be love. The answer should be peace, but Charlie tried that and it didn't work." And my response to her was, no, it did work powerfully. And that's why they killed him. We look at the movement that Charlie inspired around the world: love, truth, freedom, turning to God in good times and hard times, not asking God what he will do for us, but as Charlie said, quote, "I am far more interested in what God wants from me than what I want from God." He said, "My prayer is very simple. God, use me for your will." If only 10 of us committed ourselves to continuing Charlie's mission, that alone would be incredible, to be that fertilizer and that water that will help spread this light that is inspired by God's love. But there are far more than 10 of us. There are countless people. Countless people around the world speaking different languages, have different backgrounds, different views and opinions, who are eager to carry on Charlie's mission, to spread this light inspired by God's love, which will also expose those who are trying to shut down free speech, trying to silence us through violence, intimidation, and terrorism. It will expose them for who they are and the hollowness and emptiness and weakness of the ideas that they present. So while we will miss Charlie dearly, our hearts should not be broken, because we are confident that Charlie is at home with the Lord. Embrace in the loving arms of Jesus Christ, to whom he dedicated his life. Those who are full of anger and hopelessness and hate right now, some of them protesting outside this hall today, unfortunately, they do not have the spiritual happiness that Charlie experienced. They're empty, and this is where their anger is coming from. It is their rejection of God, their desire to be God, and therefore they have made God their enemy. I have hope today that every one of us will do our best to shine the light of God's love in our lives and in our work, that we will treat each other with aloha, respect, and stand strong and unshakable in the defense of our God-given rights and freedoms. May God bless you all, and may God bless this great nation. Aloha.
In her remarks at the vigil for Charlie Kirk at the Kennedy Center, DNI Tulsi Gabbard spoke about the responsibility of carrying forward the values Charlie lived by. She reflected on the meaning of aloha, explaining that in her home state of Hawaii, the word is not simply a greeting but a recognition of each person as a child of God. To live with aloha, she said, is to live with love and respect, not in weakness but in strength. True love, she reminded the audience, is powerful. It stands firm against hate, evil, and the forces that threaten freedom. She described Charlie as someone who embodied this principle daily, making a conscious choice to lead with love, and in doing so, he changed countless lives around the world. Gabbard recalled receiving a message from a distraught friend after Charlie's death, questioning whether love had failed. Her reply was that love had, in fact, succeeded, and it was precisely because it worked so powerfully that Charlie was targeted. She shared Charlie's own words, that his prayer was simple, not to ask what God would do for him, but to ask how God could use him. That spirit of humility and service, she said, built a movement grounded in truth, freedom, and faith. Even if only a handful of people continued Charlie's mission, the impact would be immense. But today, she emphasized, there are countless people across the world, in different languages and backgrounds, ready to carry that light forward. Gabbard urged those present not to lose heart, reminding them that Charlie is embraced in the arms of Christ, the Lord he devoted his life to. Those who respond to his message with anger and hostility, including the protesters outside the hall, she said, are empty inside. Their anger comes from rejecting God and trying to place themselves in his role. That emptiness, she argued, is what fuels their bitterness. She closed with a message of hope, that everyone listening would shine the light of God's love in their own lives, treating one another with aloha and standing strong in the defense of freedoms granted by God. With that, she blessed the gathering and the nation, ending with a heartfelt aloha.